welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy from Patreon subscriber Constantine, and this is Ninjas. This is a really cool take on Ninjas that's different than what we've seen in the past. A couple of years ago, I had an insane run with Ninjas. It was like 19-1 in recorded matches or something. It was quite a special moment in the early days of the BoshNRoll channel. But this list has a lot going on that is different than that old list. That old list was kind of all in on turn 1 evasive 1-drop, turn 2 ninjutsu in source of card advantage. That deck was playing Changeling Outcast in addition to Ornithopter as your 8 1-drops. Changeling Outcast is a card that is very bad, but it is a ninja that costs 1, and it triggers your Yurikos and stuff later. That deck had to play Thopter Foundry. That's not the right card. Retrofitter Foundry, that's the one. Retrofitter Foundry is a 1-mana artifact that could sack a Thopter to make a 4/4 construct, because Ornithopter and Changeling Outcast are also Thopters. It just had to play that card so you could convert your shitters into real beaters after they flipped into a ninja, because those aren't real cards anymore after that point. This more modern list has Tamiyo, which is a real card all the time, Orcish Bowmaster, which is a real card all the time, Satoru the Infiltrator. This is a card draw engine. Whenever one or more non-token creatures you control enter, if none of them were cast or no mana was spent to cast them, draw a card. Ornithopter is a creature you cast for no mana. Ninjutsuing something in counts as entering, but it wasn't cast. This is just another card draw engine in the deck that's also stable to a kind of real card. And Kaito Bane of Nightmares, recently featured on the channel in a Bug, Baleful Strix, Icefang Coatl Shell. Really good at turning the corner, really good at turning things that aren't creatures into creatures. Or aren't real threats into a real threat, I should say. This is just a elevated ninja deck. There are fewer ninjas in it, like those Steamroll Yuriko games probably won't happen at us often. But also, if your Yuriko just gets bounced by a Caracas, you're not sitting with a bunch of useless cards in your hand. This is a cool, innovative, updated take. I believe this is from a 5.0 list posted by James Casau, a friend of the channel who has his own show on YouTube. Go check him out. And I'm going to try this updated version of Ninjas. I'm on the draw in round 1. I'm going to keep my hand. I have an evasive 1-drop into a ninja. Oh, Street Wraith. Is this going to be some Hollow One deck or like some weird variation on Oops All Spells? What are we doing here? Oh my goodness. Did we miss on Once Upon a Time? Nothing was revealed. That's crazy. Okay. Opponent said they're not playing an interesting deck today. Well, I'll try to make up for it. This Ornithopter is really interesting. Like, if I play it, my opponent knows exactly what I'm up to. And if I don't play it, I'm software removal spell. I'm going to give up the goat here and do my thing. This is clearly some sort of combo deck. And if they send it, I lose. They appear to be sending it. Cool. I lose. All right, sideboard, save me. I'll get a look at this deck. Okay, it is Oops All Spells. I have not personally seen Once Upon a Time in these builds, and Street Wraith feels kind of old school too, but once we're at this point, it doesn't matter. The Thassa's Oracle, Memory's Journey, Jack-O-Lantern, all of that is expected. Disciple of Fraelis is a backup plan they can get into to win through like a surgical extraction. And okay, 4-pack negation, the normal expected stuff. All right, I will concede the game. Got Nile Spellbomb, Fairy Macabre, Force of Negation, Consigned to Memory, Dothy Voidwalker. Voidwalker might be too slow, but you got to do what you got to do. Murderous Cut is out. Fatal Push is out. Shieldred's Edict is out. Yuriko is blue. Sink into Stupor, Satoru, they're all blue. I think I could shave some Ornithopters because we're just settling into a control deck here. It's not really about being a ninja deck, it's about not losing immediately. And maybe a Bowmaster is too slow and I could keep some of the zeros. Yeah, being a black card doesn't matter. Drawing cards doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm actually going to pivot a second Bowmaster back to a third Ornithopter. I still have 5 1-drops I could play. Okay, consign to memory, all in, baby. Why don't just ask how Kaito has been? I don't know, homie. It's my first game and you oopsed my ass. What do you want me to say here? I'm just goofing. It's all good stuff. Okay, I'm going to try to use consign to memory to buy myself a turn into this Dothy Voidwalker. I'm going to lose to Pactum Negation plus Send here, but I'm always going to lose to that. Unfortunately, my Surveillance started the game in my hand, so there's nothing to fetch here. I'm going to get the Underground Sea before I accidentally draw it and can't make black-black. I guess I can make black-black anyway. It's probably okay. All right, Big Dotharino, Ornithopter right on time. Pass the turn. Hope this buys me enough time to start doing ninja stuff. Lotus Petal. Hey, Lotus Petal pass. I like that. I'm going to attack. I think it's actually better to hold up Consign to Memory for a turn than to try to flip a card off Yuriko. Brainstorm's fine. I'll keep that around. If they kill Dothy Voidwalker and they go for a win, or if they play Goblin Charbelcher here, Consign to Memory just does so much more than hoping to flip something useful. I can even replicate it once to play around Pactum Negation. Okay, here comes the goods again. And I'm going to Yuriko this time. Get some extra damage going. I could Brainstorm to try to have a bigger hit here, but I'm leaving mana up for a reason. My Profane! Okay, I've been felled. I think letting this die and leaving up Consign is better than trying to Brainstorm into Force of Will or Daze there. And Brainstorming into Force or Daze wins the game better. Undercity Informer's in. They're passing the turn. I'm going to end step Brainstorm. Try to get something going here. Ingenious Infiltrator, Brainstorm, go back. This will hit them for 6 damage. So they'll be at 1, and I flip the Infiltrator and I draw another card. Okay, Infiltrate. I flip for Yuriko first because I know there's a 4-drop on top of the deck. And then I draw an actual card. Kaito. Ornithopter's back. I guess I'm just going to leave up this Consign with Kicker and hope it's good enough, even though I don't think it is because they have Undercity Informer and not the other one. And I'll be dead to Cabal Therapy way before anything else matters. Yeah, with the multiple Poxwalker build here, like in old builds of this deck, I could have consigned 2 Narcomoeba triggers and they only have 1 creature, but we've got... Wait, where'd the Poxwalkers go? Do they come out when you bring in Charbelcher? Pact? Narco. Pact? Pact. So there's a Pact missing here. And we've got 1 Cabal Therapy, 2 Cabal Therapies. It's possible I'm missing because I do frequently miss things when they're not sorted nicely for me, but I don't see Poxwalkers in here. Even 1 would kill me here. Narcomoeba, Narcomoeba, Narcomoeba. We got a in the chat. Yeah, I count exactly 3 creatures to work with. Dread Return, targeting Thassa's Oracle. Resolves. Consign Conqueso. There's 1 Pact in the hand. Let's hope 2 Consigns beat it. They can still sack Thassa's Oracle to Cabal Therapy, and then Memory's Journey, Oracle back into the deck, but then they have to cast it somehow. And they're at 1, so a pass play doesn't really work. Yeah, a single Poxwalker would have let them Cabal Therapy me twice, and boarding them all out, I don't know if that's standard procedure when you bring in the Belchers or not, but it's not going to work out well here. Okay, cool. Got away with that one. I don't think my sideboard changes. My cards are my cards here. Sudden Edict hilariously would have actually helped that game because I could have roasted that creature, the Undercity Informer, while they didn't have 1 mana to sack it, or even if they did, if they pass priority, it's dead. Okay, I'm submitting my deck again. I'm not going to play to exactly the situation where they have to pass play on the 2/3 instead of the 3 mana 1 rather than just playing the 4 mana 1. This hand assumes I get a turn, which I don't think I can safely assume. Opponent's on 6. I will also be on 6. Oh no. Opponent cap 6. At this point I need like Macabre. Alright, this is not getting better. If I lose, I lose. I'm going to put Kaito and Ornithopter to the bottom. Oh, this is a disaster. It's impressive that we played 3 games, looked at 7, 14, plus 21, 35 cards in opening hands, and never saw Force of Will or Force of Negation. Okay, here's this shitbag. 1 card left in hand. There's a Poxwalker under the Chrome Mox, so this is clearly part of the plan now. I don't think we're going to beat their deck with a single consigned to memory again. Get the beats in, might as well. Though I could brainstorm for Fairy Macabre after they strip the consigned to memory. Okay, just looking at this deck again, yeah, Poxwalkers are back. Cabal Therapy. 2 Cabal Therapies, alright. Come on in. Water's fine. All 4 packs in the graveyard here, so yeah, just having a Force of Will ever would have done the job. Just passing on this Cabal Therapy. If they name Brainstorm first, that's really smart. Then I can't change my hand. Named Consigned to Memory. Okay, there's 1. And now I have to Brainstorm and hope I hit Fairy Macabre specifically. I have Nile Spellbombs in my deck too, just the full whiff Apocalypse on the Maul. Maybe I'm supposed to go to 4. I don't know. I did get a turn though. Alright, they're targeting me with Cabal Therapy. I'm going to Brainstorm. And I did not hit any useful cards at all. GG. I feel like that was a bit of a run bad, but maybe I am just supposed to go to 4 and find something. But the problem is if you go to like 2 or 3 cards and find Fairy Macabre, but then you don't do anything, they could just sculpt forever until they just have like 5 or 6 mana, play Cabal Therapy from their hand, whatever. Yeah, that was a mess. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, MagicCon, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw for round 2. There's the Force of Will in a daze. Impossible to imagine. I'm going to keep. I would have mulligan this hand under old Ninja philosophy, but now that the deck is full of more normal Magic cards, it's not as essential to have 1-drop into Ninja. So I'm just going to chill on it for a minute. I'm going to play the Polluted Delta because there is a 1 Undercity Sewers in the deck. Stoneforge Mystic. I can Fatal Push that. Cauldron Complete in the Grizzle Grazzle. Undercity Sewer. Force of Will. I don't think I want more of those. I want to win the game. That's what I want. A Brainstorm. Let's turn some of these lands into spells. Here we go. Put back Swamp and probably Kaito. Then I'll fetch Swamp, cast Fatal Push. I can daze if I have to. I can leave my friends behind. Kill that. Yeah, I do have Daze and Force to play the game with here. Orcish Bowmaster is probably good against this opponent if we can stop the creature side of the deck. Cryptic Coat. This is a repeatable source of annoyance for me. And Daze is live, so I'll use it. Okie dokie. Sink into Stupor. I think I just pass with mana up here. Pretty obvious Orcish Bowmaster, honestly, but I think it's better than just ramming Tamiyo out there. Bowmaster gives me 2 bodies to infiltrate with. Right, something's on the stack. Ping ya. And this looks like an actual no lineup, no respect cantrip. Ponder is not as devastating as Brainstorm for this sort of thing, but I'd love to have an Orcish Bowmaster game where just nothing happens, except Bowmaster kills them. Prismatic Ending, that resolves. Ponder, okay. They did not shuffle the first Ponder. There's a Tundra. And they did shuffle this Ponder. Here I have the opportunity to infiltrate, so I will. Infiltrate. This is my second draw of the turn. That deletes the token forever, but I did just get a 4-mana cantripping beater in. Here's your Psychic Frog. Blue-black, when it hits draw a card. Count it. We've been looking for the replacement and I found it. A Brainstorm means Cauldron's probably not in the hand anymore. I'm going to click that away. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Wowee, look at you. I'm going to force pitching Ponder. Sink into Stupor can keep the tempo game going. And they're just done. All right, opponent is playing 2012 Legacy, and I'm here for it. I registered this in a Grand Prix in like 2018, so it's still good. Or it was a thing we could do. Fatal Push is good against Stoneforge Mystic. If this deck does play Tamiyo, that Jace was something. I'm excited about that. Okay, Days on the draw in a deck with 3 basic swamps. I'd rather play to the board. Days is still fine. This is a deck that can make up Force of Will differential. Like, it's okay to pitch 2 cards to Force when all of your creatures say draw a card on them. Do I want Sudden Edict? I already have 2 Sheoldred's Edicts in the main. Yeah, I think I'm just going to turn 1 Daze into 1 Push. I guess I could make Brazen Borrower another Daze. The answer is generic permanence. I'm not sure what permanence my opponent's going to have. Yeah, I'm going to keep it light till I see more of their deck. Okay, I am going to keep this even though it is only 1 land, but it does have 2 1-drops. Ponder from the opponent. They shuffled it. Tamiyo plus Ornithopter coming in hot. Mountain, that does not cast Swords to Plowshares. And here I am with a land. We like lands. If they're gonna cast a removal spell, they should do it now. So I can't ninja them. And they did not, but I don't have a ninja. I think I'm just gonna park it on the Orcish Bowmasters for a minute here. If they need their 3rd land drop, okay, cool. There's also this possibility where I just flip this in response and get to keep my Tamiyo. They're brainstorming in response. Bowmaster would have been nice there. Oh wow, they're just brainstorm locked and dead. This might be a fast league. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw for round 3. I will keep my hand. Once again, this updated build, meaning I don't have to mulligan for 1-drop into Ninja. I can do just stuff like this. Looks like a Nadu deck that we're up against, which means it will be significant for me to find a removal spell or counter spell before the bird is upon us. My deck can't really beat a 3-4 flying. I'm going to be honest. Even if Nadu never triggers, just 3-4 flying in front of my dinguses that are supposed to chip shot and get in. Oh, good, it's poison. Cool. I don't know how much better this actually is for me, but at least it's not Nadu, and the game is going to be sweet. Drawing Forcer Days here would be a big help. Ornithopter, yeah, that's what I wanted. The deck heard my prayers. Okay, I'm going to play this now where they have to counter it or use an Invigorate on my turn. All right. Counter spell works. Force pitching force. From 1 card in hand, it's hard to kill me in 1 shot with Blighted Agent. It's attacking as a 3. There's definitely sequences of draws where, like, Invigorate Berserk, 2 Invigorates, any 2 pump spells really will do it here. B-Storm, mixing it up. 2 cards in hand, do they kill me? 1 card in hand. I don't think 1 card in hand can kill me. And this also, importantly, doesn't shuffle the Brainstorm if they didn't find what they were looking for. Okay, that damage is done. I'm at 3 poison. My options here are attack, make a clue, Brainstorm, flip Tamiyo, hope Brainstorm interacts with Blighted Agent, or just sink into Stupor and hope they don't have a protection spell. I guess I should have played my land, attacked with Ornithopter, brainstormed in combat just in case I had a ninja. Oh yeah, let's go. Well, I could have done... No, I still couldn't play Yuriko here. Okay, put back Yuriko and Prismatic Vista. Flip Tamiyo. Blue to Delta, plus Tamiyo. And I'm just going to push now. If they have a protection spell, let's flush it out. Like Legolas's Quick Reflexes. Yeah, okay, sure. At least that didn't deal extra damage or whatever. Okay. Passing the turn. Glistener Elf. They could put 2 damage on Tamiyo here if they want to take the pressure off of me, but they kind of have to because I have Fatal Push in my graveyard. Okay, there's the 2, and Tamiyo's plus is going to be an effective weapon here for a while. I guess I have to fetch a basic, even though I don't want to here. Yeah, I'll grab a bonus Swamp. Ooh, Kaito. That can stun a creature for 2 turns. Do I think Kaito's better than Yuriko? I don't think that I do believe that. Attack, Yuriko, little commander ninjutsu for you. Flipped a Tameo, so just guessed wrong on my land, but I do have Sink into Stupor. Yeah, my life total doesn't matter. I'm going to zap this in. I can play this other Tameo, or I could play Brainstorm. I could also crack a Clue. I think I want to Brainstorm, actually. If I find the Fatal Push here, it's just so good. Okay, no love, but my next turn is very good. How do I do the most damage? Put back Kaito, Tameo. All right, pass the turn. There's the Wasteland. We can put another 2 damage on Tameo. If they drew a pump spell, they can do a little more. Yeah, still treading water over there. I'll take it. Another Glistener Elf. Okay. They can block Yuriko and make it so she doesn't have power anymore. Like, it's a permanent -1/-1. But I am going to get 2 flips here off of the Ingenious Infiltrator. Yeah, there's that block. Infiltrate the system. 1 poison creature down. 2 flips. We'll deal 4 with the Yuriko flip and then draw a normal card. Another Sink into Stupor. Yeah. Life total still fake news. Satoru, which will draw a card off Ornithopter. First appearance of Satoru in the league. Excited about it. First game that went 5 turns. Trigger. Sick. That's so cool. Another Infiltrator. All right, we're going to light them up next turn for sure. I don't know if there is 1 card that they can draw that deals 5 additional poison. Embiggen is good for 4. I guess Become Immense is a card that could kill me here. All right, still working on Tameo. Yeah, the problem with their position here is that if they don't keep working on Tameo, I Fatal Push the Blighted Agent, then it doesn't matter what they draw anymore. Prismatic Vista. Do I want more mana here? That does represent Kaito. All right, yeah, I think I'm going to fetch and get an additional... There is only 1 Fatal Push, but there's also Murderous Cut and Children's Edict. Yeah, I'll get an extra black. That's still where I want to be. And I'm still going to attack with Yuriko, because if they don't block her because she's 0/2, I can ninjutsu her out and then back in. And Satoru is going to draw roughly 8,000 cards this turn. I haven't added it up yet, but that's pretty close to the real number. Okay, they did not block Yuriko, which means I can ninjutsu out Yuriko for Infiltrator, which draws a card on entry. Then I can flip Ornithopter into Yuriko, which draws a card on entry. And then my opponent gets lit the hell up with all of these Yuriko and other creature triggers. These are all ninjas, so this is... I'm going to be +6 cards, and 3 of them are going to deal damage. They might just die here. All right, here we go! Giddy up, kids. I'm just going to stack all the Yuriko triggers first. If I had the Brainstorm before combat, I would have fetched a blue instead. Guess I didn't have to fetch it all. All right. Oh, sorry, I'm +9 cards. All right, opponent's at 1 from flipping Force of Will the first try. We just need 1 mana value out of this last Yuriko flip. We did it! All right, that was a real ninja game. Let's go. Fatal Push, Dismember, Brazen Borrower, Sudden Edict, just like all things that can interact with a creature have to be in. Harbinger of the Seas is medium solid because the mana for Infect, despite being a 2-color deck, is pretty bad. And sometimes they are a 3-color deck, like they are Bant for Swords to Plowshares, and they do play Inkmoth Nexus regardless, and Pendlehaven. There are lands they care about. Harbinger's a maybe, but I'm definitely bringing in all these removal spells. I think this is not a Kaito matchup. He's just, like, pretty bad against creatures that attack, and pretty good against decks full of removal, and we're against a creatures that attack deck. I like Daze, but I think I like Force better, and I like playing to the board better. I'm not a Wasteland deck. It's just really important to have blue-black on turn 2 for all your ninjas in these ninjas decks. Like when people ask about Wasteland or Urza Saga, that's the answer. Okay, I don't think I'm going to have room for both Harbingers. I could turn 1 Satoru into 1 Harbinger, just give myself that option while reducing a redundant legend I could draw. I like having 1 Daze in to keep them honest. Okay, I'm going for it. I played against Infect recently, and they got me real good with Triumph of St. Catherine out of the sideboard. All right, I got to mulligan this one. It just doesn't have the land for sure for Orcish Bowmaster, then doesn't do much after that. All right, I like this better. Keep and bottom one of the infiltrators. Pendlehaven. That's a card I said they have. Okay, I'm going to cast Ponder right now. Island Ponder Keep. Infect has historically played like a weird spread of one-ofs. Like one Stifle, one crop rotation. I don't know how it's constructed right now, but if I could play around Stifle a little bit, I will. Bowmaster is pretty solid. Okay, I'm going to put the Brazen Borrower in my hand as both an additional removal spell and a blue card for force. And my plan is to rain Orcish Bowmasters on them until they run out of ways to protect their 1/1s. A Blighted Agent. I guess Bowmaster doesn't even kill that under Pendlehaven. Embarrassing. I could kill Noble Hierarch, though. They fetch. And they can't daze me here because they do not have an island. They could use a pump spell to save their Noble Hierarch if they want. But that's a pump spell they won't have for their Blighted Agent. Cool. Handled. Kind of. Kind of handled. Now they're playing on mono green. They do have a forest. They don't have an island. There's 2 poison represented on the board right now. But if they tap Pendlehaven, the Bowmaster in my hand is going to kill the Blighted Agent on my turn. Okay. But they're either pushing a win or they don't think I could possibly have 2 Bowmasters. Cool. I accept that outcome. Bowmaster. Target. Yep, Reflexes is the one I can't interact with. And then I will attack. I would have forced a will, just like giant growth there. For sure. Hierarch. You're in there. This now represents 3 poison if they're willing to tap out, which makes Brazen Borrower better. They are willing to tap out. You have to Pendlehaven before the Exalted trigger, or else you don't have a 1/1 anymore. Sheoldred's Edict. That doesn't help anymore. It helped last turn. Is there any universe where they block with this Noble Hierarch? I don't think so, but I'm still going to attack with everything first. I would love to brainstorm and find my 3rd land and use Brazen Borrower with that, but I'm just not willing to risk missing. A force pitching Brainstorm, force pitching Ingenious Infiltrator. I would have preferred to force this on the way back down, but anything that buys me a turn plays here. It's back. Ornithopter. Okay, I can Edict here, which would kill the Noble Hierarch. I think it's time to Brainstorm. I want some action here. Okay, luckily my life total doesn't matter. Harbinger of the Seas is okay next turn. Infiltrator, Harbinger go back. Soporific Springs. I'll have my opponent sack a non-token creature of their choice. I actually can't attack this turn because it taps out, because Pendlehaven, like this thing can block, it just can't be blocked. Okay, Ornithopter. And pass the turn. They have 2 poison. They just need like 1 pump spell, 1 invigorate, and I'm dead. That'll do. All right. Yeah, that's a 6/4. Okie dokie. Game 3. I'm on the play this time. That Harbinger was almost good. Like I did get beat by a non-basic land that game. And I'm on the play where it's more likely to be successful. I'm going for it. Same deck. Sudden Edict. I haven't cast that card in a long time. Basically not since Sheoldred's Edict was printed. But it is an effective tool in the matchup. Playing on basics, we've seen Wasteland. Another Edict. Do I want land number 4? I can make that decision next turn. Ornithopter, get in. Hierarch. I could play around Daze by using Sudden Edict right now. I think I'm going to just Sheoldred's Edict now and save the Sudden Edict for the Blighted Agent. Okay, Daze is what happened. Fair enough. We knew that was possible. Yeah, the problem with that sequencing is if I Sudden Edict, then I have a land to play around Daze on the following turn, and now I'm just in the garbage. Okay. Yeah. Now that they had it, I look very silly. Brainstorm. Orcish Bowmaster. Well, now I look smart for flushing out the Daze. I'm going to put back probably Swamp, and, well, definitely Ornithopter, and I guess it's Swamp, even though I do have uses for 4 mana starting next turn. And I'm going to get an island here, because I can play Brainstorm plus Black Spell next turn if I miss on the land drop. Oh my goodness, we're in. That doesn't mean it's going to die. They could Invigorate. Oh wow, that was a huge win. Cool. Good exchange found. Now I look smart for flushing out the Daze, though this Sudden Edict's still pretty bad. And we're right back where we started. Cool. Drawing a black source here, though. I'm just going to attack with all my creatures. If they don't block the Bowmaster, I could pick it up and I have a look at a black land to replay the Bowmaster. Come on, Black Source. Trigger. Force of Will. Okay, that's likely to keep me alive a little longer. I'll fire this Brainstorm. They're fetching in response. We're going to see a Spell Pierce out of here. What's going on? Brainstorm in response, now that I don't have Bowmaster in play. Smart. Ay, caramba. Okay. I mean, my hand is good, at least. Like, that is a true statement. I'm going to put back Engineered Explosives and Sudden Edict. So I don't get to cast that Brainstorm this turn if I fetch Swamp last turn. But now that I see what my next 3 cards would have been, Swamp would have been better. So a little weird back and forth action there. And I'm taking my first 2 poison in the game on turn 4. Pretty good rate of return, though with 4 cards in their hand, I might just die. They did not shuffle their Ponder. Yeah, I'm going to interact early here because once it's invigorated, Berserk becomes really good. Ugh, Flusterstorm. All right, so I might be dead. Yeah, Infect's a really good deck. Like, even though my hand is full of removal, that's kind of like they know what game they signed up to play. And now it does not take much to kill me from here. That'll do. Second Invigorate, the full 10. Well played. Remain exclusively defeated by Infect since the ban update. Only played it twice, but it did beat me twice. In decks full of removal. Fascinating. I hope this is back. I love this shit. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. I'm on the draw in round 4, yet to win a die roll with my aggressive slanted deck, but being on the draw further validates me keeping the 7-card hand that would be dubious on the play. Opponent went to 6. Island, Preordain. Fair decks don't play Preordain usually. I'm suspicious. Top the Preordain. Okay. Bad news. Found all the goods. I'm just going to play this Sewers. Alright. In the Prismatic Vista. The problem is Prismatic Vista doesn't fetch Sewer, so the line of Brainstorm it away, then fetch it, isn't available to me. If my opponent casts Show and Tell and then wins with Daze Protection this turn, I deserve it. Okay. A Bowmaster. I like those. I'm just going to pass. Opponent just realized they're playing against me and said, please don't judge me, I'm bad. Well, I do my best to, even when I'm being judgmental, do it in an educational fashion. Delver of Secrets. Okay, I could kill that. This might actually be Mono Blue Delver, which is a deck that exists in the format, kind of. It's like a fringe thing that I know about. Okay. I'm going to put back Underground Sea and Swamp. And I might get stifled here, but I'm still going to fetch. Yeah, okay, here we go. Yeah, okay. Do I want to Force of Will this? Is like having... I think I do. I know this is like weirdly aggressive, but playing Orcish Bowmaster around Daze this turn would be extremely valuable to me. Okay, they're dazing that. I'll just pay. Okay. Get a Swamp. Draw for turn. Oh, now I have 2 of these jerks. I'll just send one. They might have another Daze, but now I'm less worried about it. And if Delver flips, I don't get to do this anymore. Sick. Okay. We danced around it, and I'm now fairly convinced this is Mono Blue Delver. A deck that I have played on the channel a couple times before, thanks to Patreon subscriber King of the Depths, who is somebody who works on this deck from time to time. But now I've resolved Orcish Bowmaster versus a Mono Blue deck that's generally pretty powerful. And I'm going to attack with Ornithopter even though I don't have a Ninja, because I want them to have to think about me having a Ninja even if I don't. Okay. Very Vandal. I think I would rather use Bowmaster to finish this thing off then use my Edict to protect my Bowmaster because Murktide Regent is not a card I can beat right now. And might as well fetch while my opponent does not have Stifle up. When Murktide Regent is a card your opponent might have, you have to respect it. Because I don't play very many answers to it. There's like 3 or 4 in my main deck. And I'm currently holding one. Okay, I'm just going to attack with the 2-2 this time. Now that we've seen a 1-2 with Flash in this deck. And I will play out my island. I have sequences that could want a lot of mana. Like if I just draw a ninja. Okay, bouncing my Orc army. It's out of here. Ponder. Okay, this gets Bowmaster back in the mix, but they might have to do this. They're probably looking for whatever their version of Murktide Regent is. They probably play actual Murktide Regent, but the deck might also play some Tolarian Terror, Cryptic Serpent, kind of whatever, depending on how many top-end threats they actually play. Wasteland, all right. I've got enough lands to not be super worried about that. Hey, a ninja. Kinda. Okay, I'm going to attack with everything. I'm prepared to daze this Brazen Borrower if it wants to rumble with my Ornithopter. They just said I'm about to get Kaito'd. Nah, I wish. I will play Satoru, though. I'm tapping my dual land because I want to make that look inconspicuous because I really want to pick that up to daze and not one of my basics. If they started tapping mana, they might not just realize that we're still in my main phase. Okay. Daze this. That's about as good as that's going to get. Like it picked up Undercity Sewer and dealt with a problem on turn 6 of the game. That's a win-win for me. Now I need a ninja to set it off. Just any Yuriko Ingenious Infiltrator will trigger on entry, it'll draw a card on hit, and I'll draw a card when I replay Ornithopter. Beastorm, ooh. The desperation is real. You gotta do what you gotta do here. Put that damage upstairs. This will make the game a lot faster. Ponder, okay. This is another ping. Good chance we'll see a shuffle here, and we do. Anytime my opponent immediately casts Ponder after they cast Brainstorm without a fetch or shuffle in between, I assume that's just shuffling away the bad cards. Found their fetch land, and they've had enough. Cool. Alright, Mono Blue Delver, love it. Should I bring in Harbinger of the Seas? What do we think, team? I like Engineered Explosives. I like Brazen Borrower. I like Fatal Push. I like Sudden Edict. I don't even hate Dothy Voidwalker because Murktide Regent is going to loom so large over this game that shutting off their graveyard's not nothing. It's also an unblockable creature for my ninjas. I don't love Force of Will. Daze is medium. I don't love Kaito in high numbers versus aggressive attacking decks either. We've mentioned that before. There is still a Dismember in my sideboard that I could justify playing. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut another Kaito. He's great if he shows up on a empty board, but even if he's facing down, like, I guess they would need 2 threats for me to really not like Kaito. I still have 7 ninjas here. Those are respectable numbers. Okay. So, if the game does go long, like it did, Kaito's better than Daze. Alright, I'll mess with this. I'm gonna have faith in my wall of removal that I can survive long enough to get the game to a spot where Kaito's better than Daze. Okay, I've got a bunch of removal in my hand. I'll run with it. I have to respect Wasteland and Stifle here. 3.5 lands in my hand. I might just send it here on the Undercity Sewer. I have 2 ways to play around Wasteland still in my hand and a 3rd land if there's an emergency. And I would like the selection while they're tapped out of Stifle. And they didn't play a creature on turn 1, which means I don't have to think about removal just yet. I have a draw step before I have to make any decisions, but right now my plan is to just get the Undercity Sewers on my own turn. Yeah, Brazen Borrower doesn't talk me out of it. Sewer, trigger. Love a Fatal Push. Let's go. I can now kill Delvers and Fairy Vandals and stuff till my heart's content, and I have 3 answers to Murktide in my hand. Delver has arrived. I'm just going to push it now. They get card selection off of the peak with Delver. If they didn't have a fetch land, I would just pass into their upkeep, see if I can see a card they're going to draw. Okay, cool. Well, in that case, I'll just pass the turn. I'm not going to play into Daze. I can afford to take 3 damage. And the Delver gets a look at Preordain. Fetch land. Preordain before fetching. Preordain's the one cantrip you usually want to fetch before you use, because now that card that you put on the bottom, if you fetch, is going to be back in the pool of cards you could draw. They went top bottom, by the way. Okay, some beats have occurred. I'm at 16. Another swamp. Yeah, swamp's fine. I'm gonna Fatal Push on their upkeep. This plays around Spell Pierce and Flusterstorm kind of interaction. I have enough lands for that. True Name Nemesis. Well, I'm not ready for that. Okay. I do have 3 Edicts in my deck, but currently none of the things I have line up against it. Orcish Bowmaster right on time. I'm going to fetch Basic Island around potential stifles, and I'm just going to main phase this Bowmaster. Bowmaster can convert into Yuriko next turn. They haven't actually seen a ninja yet, despite having a pretty long game 1. There's the Murktide. If I cut it now, I'm playing into Spell Pierce, but I do have Sink into Stupor to follow up. I think I'm just gonna go for it now. I'm still playing around Daze. It would have to be an actual spell here. Force Pitching Beastorm, sure. Okay, one of my many answers to Murktide is answered. Bounce Murktide. Okay, that's handled. Attack. And I'm gonna Yuriko here. And I'm going to pick up the Orc Army, because I think just having Bowmaster in play is worth a lot against this mono blue deck. Boost. You can stifle this. Yeah, solid. Alright. Well played. And now I am racing True Name Nemesis with a known Murktide in hand. They know I have Yuriko. They're 1 card, 1 mana. Wow, shot through the gut. Okay, they can replay Murktide here as a 6/6, which I will have to spend time interacting with, as True Name continues to roast me. I'm looking for one of my 3 Edicts at this point, and then I'll feel pretty stable. You're in there. Edict? Okay, Sink into Stupor, bounce Murktide Regent. We're doing that, because I lose if I don't. Might lose anyway. But I got outs. True Name's in. Satoru, the Infiltrator. Well, I'll play that. That gives me more cards next turn. There might be a giant flurry of activity with me at 3 life and dead on board. Force Pitching Murktide. Okay. Brazen Borrower, you gotta win this game for me, homie. I'm gonna just flash in Borrower now before they could draw a Daze to make it not an option. True Name. Almost coast to coast here. Stifle's devastating. A blocker is devastating. Gutshot's devastating. There's a lot of good cards in their deck right now. Wow, Sink into Stupor. Okay. Edict off the top. 1 time, dealer? GG. The classic True Name Nemesis dealt all 20. Love it. Okay, seeing True Name. Now I'm on the play. I want Daze. I already have all my Edicts in, just didn't come up with one. Voidwalker confirmed useful because dealing with that Murktide over the top used up a lot of my resources that game. And I think I'm going to shave the Kaito for the Daze, like we waffled about last time. I don't play 3 colors of mana for Engineered Explosives. I don't think True Name Nemesis being in the deck is enough reason to play Force of Will in a matchup where it's otherwise horrendous. Alright, just gonna lean on these Edicts a bit, and now know that that's the thing I have to worry about. I played a lot of Standard recently for the Spotlight series, and I had Kaito in my deck for that, and I also had Nowhere to Run, a card that removes Hexproof and Ward from your opponent's permanents, which hilariously still doesn't kill True Name Nemesis, because Protection is neither of those things. Even though I am quite used to being able to kill Hexproof and warded creatures in my Kaito deck. Hey, the basic land punishing me again. I don't think I can actually keep this hand. Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan. Here we go. This is what dreams are made of. I'm gonna keep this and bottom. I think it's Engineered Explosives. I would like the ability to play around Daze at some point in my life, and is largely stifle proof, except ninjutsu can always be stifled. Ponder, alright. Ornithopter. Wow. Alright, well, that's even more reason to play around Daze. I'm just going to pass with Satoru in my hand, because this immediately... Oh shit, I should have played the Ornithopter. I was thinking Satoru plus Ornithopter next turn is an immediate cantrip, but I could have also Ornithopter this turn, played Satoru next turn. Or no, I can't infiltrate and play Satoru next turn. No, it's fine, though I probably still should have played the Ornithopter. Ponder. Alright, they're on a slow start here. This Wasteland's not going to find a lot of targets. Obviously the nuts, if I wasn't playing against a dedicated soft permission deck, would have been play Satoru, draw a card, Ninjutsu, draw a card this turn, and then draw 2 more cards in combat, but I'm playing it slow. My own Daze. I would have liked that last turn. Okay, Satoru on the stack. Did they respect this enough for a force of will? Ornithopter. We can daze a dismember. We're in. +1 card. That interaction's gnarly. And speaking of gnarly, another fatal push. I'm ready for a True Name Nemesis this time. I have the daze. Land number 3 quickly being fetched. Preordain. Okay, fine. Deal. Top bottom. Yeah, I don't mind ninjutsu being stifled this turn because Ornithopter's free. Yo, alright. Ornithopter. Let's see if I could draw a card before any of this even happens. Daze that. Then Ornithopter is in. I draw a card. I hope it's something I cast with a blue mana. I can cast Yuriko here, but I don't want to. Yeah, I would rather ninjutsu. It's just worth a bunch of cards to do it that way, but Yuriko does upgrade my ninja suite here quite a bit. This is going to be another 1, 2, 3 cards, 4 cards, and they're dealing damage now. Lightning Bolt with Yuriko. Prismatic Vista, not good for not good for damage, is a card though. Ornithopter's another card. This is going to be tough for Mono Blue Delver to come back from. Even True Name Nemesis at this point, I'm not that bothered by. Because I can ninjutsu 2 things next turn and just do a massive ninja roast over the top of a True Name Delver. I will just Fatal Push into Daze here. I have so many stupid cards in my hand that just getting any interaction out of their way right now is worth it, even if it doesn't work. It will do something. Even if we just flush out a Spell Pierce here, I'll take it. Daze, you got me. Okay, that's handled. Draw for turn. Dismember. Let's see if they stifle pre-combat here. We got an island. And I'm just going to attack with everything. I don't have enough mana that I can ninjutsu again if they stifle one of the ninjutsus. This deck can't play Containment Priest. Okay, Stifle. I'll just do it again, which is actually worth an extra card because Ornithopter is free. Okay, draw a card. Now, if my opponent survives this turn, I'm going to have so many cards in my hand. Okay, I have to do 8 here with these flips. The forces are out of the deck, though, which makes it harder. We got the GGs in the chat, though. Cool, yeah. The writing was on the wall. Proper ninjutsu nonsense. Satoru popping off again. Let's go play another round. We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. On the draw, 0 for 5 on die rolls, complaint equity through the roof. Sink into Stupor. I can't play mono blue on this hand. I would keep Sink into Stupor Swamp, but that is not what I have. I'm going to mulligan. Okay, I mean, in keep and bottom one of the Thoppies, I think. You have to be a heads-up master to counter or kill an Ornithopter. This hand's also weak to Wasteland, a card that my opponent's deck likely contains if they have Volcanic Island and Tamiyo. Sewer. I'd love to see just like a fetch land. Alright, I don't need an Ornithopter. That meant the bottom and top of my deck were both Ornithopters. That's fun. There was a brief moment in time where that was true. If they attack with Tamiyo, I'm going to block. Just put it out there for everyone. Alright, had the Wasteland. I do have Sink into Stupor for Ponder to keep playing. Block. The thrilling combat Magic the Gathering offers. And Brainstorm straight into Tamiyo Town. Tamiyo turtles up. Should I attack for -1? They don't actually gain a life, even though they should. Like, they should, and I mean that emotionally, not actually. Okay. Prismatic Vista, Daze, Polluted Delta, and I'll pass. I'm not going to attack for -1. I won't give them the satisfaction. Mystic Sanctuary as your second land drop's kind of a mess. Unholy Heat, they found the line. Okay. Fair enough. Bobble. Unholy Heat's actually really funny there because it does kill Ornithopter but doesn't kill any of my ninjas. I think I'm supposed to Brainstorm here. Because fetching away my second land, playing into Daze, Tamiyo's online. I guess I just like lose a Tamiyo now. I do play Bowmaster in my deck though. Okay, you're saying there's a chance. I'll put back the redundant Yuriko and this Kaito. And I'll just fetch now. I'm already exposed to Wasteland. Come get some. Okay, so I'm looking for a Bowmaster that I can sneak in response to their Tamio activation and just one-shot their ass. That's how I have to play this. Okay, they bobbled themselves, which means they have a fetch land in their hand. Oh, sick! They got the predict technology. Even better. Okay. I'm happy to be wrong if it involves a predict. They milled Volcanic Island. Okay. Orcish Bowmaster off the top right now is my one out. That's not it. Okay. I guess I'll technically continue playing this game. Fudge. Misdrawing a card. Okay, never mind. Tilt Scoop. Okay. I could have drawn a card there with Satoru. The good news is they saw some Ornithopters, but not really anything that my deck's really doing, though they should probably know that Ornithopter means ninjas. Okay. I'm going to treat this like it's Is It Delver? The predict technology is old technology, but it checks out. Predict with Dragon's Rage Channeler is just draw 2 cards for 2 mana at all times. Sometimes it's better than that because you also mill a card, which could feed Delirium. Okay, here we go. Basically same thing I did last game. You could say Nile Spellbomb's fine, and maybe you're right, but I'm off it. I can kick off with a Tamio. At least I'm doing something. Opponent's on 6. Ooh, okay. We can touch butts. Be a great turn to draw a removal spell. Ingenious Infiltrator, fascinating. Okay. We'll see if they block, like for the memes, but the block actually matters here. They didn't block. Let's fucking go. I hope you live to regret this. They didn't like my meme block last game with Ornithopter, and now they're getting punished for not doing the same thing. Okay. I now have a Psychic Frog in play. Though Tamio's butt is bigger than Psychic Frog's Ingenious Infiltrator's attack. Brainstorm. Not interested in a clue token. Just frickin' flipping this thing. The attack there is free. We got them panicking. That's what that means. Just scrambling for an answer to this ninja. Tapped land. Okay. I can play and flip Tamio this turn. Or I could play Orcish Bowmaster. I like Orcish Bowmaster a lot. Okay. I can see what I draw first. I am going to attack them to get more cards for me, even if checking Tamio is useful. Tamio, re-Tamio. Okay. I'm going to play my Tamio. I could crack this clue and flip it into Planeswalker mode. I think I like Bowmaster more. And I don't like that I'm playing into Daze here, but if they scramble to try to answer the Infiltrator, Bowmaster could show up when I've flushed interaction out of their hand. But they should read me not cracking my clue as I have something to do with my mana. Plus Tamio. They started to tap mana, then changed their mind. I'm going to play Bowmaster in the end step. I have enough mana, and I will have enough cards to do stuff with my mana. All right, Force Pitching Delver, we'll take it. And end step Pyroblast, sure. Okay, now I am under some pressure. Now I'm not under pressure anymore. I could ponder for interaction here, but Force of Will's out of my deck, so I think I'm just going to Sheoldred's Edict for Planeswalker. Sack a Planeswalker of your choice. Hope there weren't 2 Force of Wills in that hand. Wow, brutal. Maybe I'm supposed to play Satoru first. Well, that sucks, donkey ass. I'll attack my opponent, and then I'm going to play Satoru. Satoru at least represents the possibility of damage next turn. I was trying to respect Daze, and then got by Double Force. Do you also have Daze? They're pausing right now. Okay, Satoru's in. I have something that can attack for 1 available now. Yeah, they bought back the Pyroblast, that's good. I mean, it kills Satoru or Tamio, like whatever they're worried about here, but at least I'm not just dead to their ultimate. And I can flip my Tamio this turn, and there's a good chance that I will. I found a Volcanic Island off of a non-shuffled Ponder. Attack first. See, they're at the point of the game where they Force a Will twice, they're kind of missing land drops, and it would be really nice if they had a clue lying around. But they don't, because they didn't do that before. Ponder, I can still flip Tamio, plus I can do more. Let's go. Orcish Bowmaster, my guy. Fetch. I will just play around Wasteland at this point. Explosives for 1. That can kill their Tamio. It will also kill my Tamio. But I think that's a risk I have to take. I at least have the eject button available. Wow, they're just yeeting for the Pyroblast. Hurling the Tameo. That's a deal. Okay, she's dead. I can immediately play and flip the other one. If they follow with exactly Murktide Region here, that would be a bummer. A Bowmaster in response to this counterbalance. This game's about to get wonky. Itinerant Explosives, historically very good versus counterbalance. I could just spend 6 mana on an Explosives for 2. Okay, hope there's not a 1 on top. There was. Shit. Okay, well, in that case, I'll draw a card with my clue. Hey, I know there's not a 2 on top. I don't need another Daze. Satoru, get in. Just Ninjutsu as a mechanic is really good versus counterbalance, though. My whole board costs 2, so I'm not highly motivated to destroy this counterbalance right now. They've got Delver of Secrets, and they're passing the turn without playing it. Okay. I'm gonna eat my clue. I could Brainstorm here. Yeah, I'll try it. They might have Brainstorm, and they held back the Delver so they could Brainstorm a 1 to the top. Daze on top of the deck. And they just have nothing, and I'm about to cook their shit. Put back Daze, put back Brainstorm. Or put back backup Satoru. Don't need 2 of those in a deck. Fetch Basic Swamp and attack. Knowing that they have a 2-drop on top of the deck right now, I think I want to pick up the Orc Army rather than the Bowmaster because I can't redeploy it. Hitch it for 2 ninjas, draw 2 cards, Ornithopter will draw another card. They've had enough. All right, cool. Ninjas versus Counterbalance is a matchup I'll take. They are kind of a mid-range Is It Delver build. Still don't think I'm that interested in Force of Will. Pyroblast is good against my whole deck, nothing to be done about that. I could bring in 1 Nile Spellbomb over like a Kaito, but I do want to push. If they're taking a control posture, I do want to be able to put damage on the board. Dismember is another early answer to Tameo, but I am playing a bunch of those, plus the Children's Edict can actually kill her. Maybe on the draw 1 Daze can become 1 Nile Spellbomb, and we'll wash it out there. Okay, 2 basics. A bunch of ninjas, no setup for them yet, but that's what Ponder's for. Opponent also has a Ponder. Smart and handsome opening play. Bowmaster. We like that one. That turns on all these ninjas. Island, Ponder. Land, Bowmaster, Children's Edict. I like all these things too. Take the land. I'm drawing Bowmaster, Children's Edict over the next 2 turns. They're just passing with 2 volcanic islands up. Predict targeting who? Yourself. Okay. They do know this card because of Ponder. They named and correctly milled Thundering Falls. I'm going to just cast Bowmaster in the end step. If they counter it, I have more spells to play. If they Lightning Bolt it, then I have an Orc Army that could become a ninja. Pyroblast doesn't interact with any of the stuff I'm doing right now. Kaito has Hexproof on my turn, which is something I can use. And that's dead. Attack for 1. I think I would rather use all my mana and stick something that doesn't die to Pyroblast or Lightning Bolt. It's Planeswalker time. The emblem that all my ninjas get +1/+1 is serious in this deck, but I think I would rather lock in the card advantage of Surveil to draw a card right now. Because they could Pyroblast this on their turn. Top, let's go. Dothy Voidwalker plus Orcish Bowmaster next turn. That's a huge index on swamps, but I think it's okay. It's going to have to be. And if they don't have Pyroblast, this thing's going to be a huge problem. Yep, okay. That's why I did what I did last turn. That's a 2 for 1. They don't know I'm holding Bowmasters. They killed the other one. I have a secret Bowmaster still in my hand. Delta ship. A Voidwalker, get in. A Voidwalker resolved. Having 3 basic swamps and an island in play might slow me down in some ways, but if I have a chance to Bowmaster something good here, I'm going to take it. Or if they just pass the turn back to me, I won't do anything. Yeah, I'll play around it then. If they want to play, I'll play. They predict targeting yourself. I will respond to this with Orcish Bowmaster. There's already a bunch of stuff ending up in the void here. Okay, ding ya. They could still bolt in response before the predict resolves, or Bowmaster could go nuts here. I'm obviously okay with any of those outcomes. Wow, okay. They named Meltdown. So my opponent has played against ninjas before, but I'm not the Retrofitter Foundry build. And they had no way to know that. Okay, I'm going to fetch now before combat, because if they want to bolt my Dothy Voidwalker before it can become a ninja, that is, I want to be able to predict in response. Okay. I could deploy Yuriko here. I'm gonna. This opens up Pyroblast, but it's fine. I'm doing stuff. I can answer a Murktide Regent. I'm not worried about a counterbalance. They do have 6 cards in hand, but I've stuck a Bowmaster here. That's pretty powerful. They can fetch that Mystic Sanctuary they've been stuck on in the first few games. Rebuy Unholy Heat, kill Bowmaster. That's alright. Now I have to watch out for Daze resetting Mystic Sanctuary as we move into the mid and late game here. Dr. S. Or Dr. C. Dr. S is banned. Mill to Pyroblast. They know I'm holding a pretty potent black threat in my hand. Another Swamp is pretty cool. I'm going to attack first and see what they do. What they did is take 3, deal. Voidwalker. I'm going to push the Channeler. Push it right into the Void. And I've got a Ponder. Double Infiltrator. Yeah, I think double Infiltrator plus Sheoldred's Edict is a pretty strong thing to do next turn. A Delver gets a look. This is random. It did not flip, and then they did not like what they saw. Fetch down to 7, which means they're at 1 on the board, unless they're willing to jump with a Delver. Another Delver. My creatures are still better than those. I am not ready for a Murktide Regent, because they have a bunch of random shitters in play. Murktide at full size. There's a DRC Predict Meltdown Flooded Strand in the Void. No Pyroblast for me. There's a Ponder on top of my deck right now. Yeah, I guess I'll attack with Dauthi Voidwalker. There's 3 Pyroblasts used already. I'm gonna Ninjutsu here, because I can Ninjutsu again if they have a removal spell. I just pick it back up. Old double ninja trick. Okay, so I'm drawing Ponder. Oh, Consigned to Memory. They're countering that trigger. Sure. Fair enough. They are at 5 now. And I have another unblockable creature. Daze. Alright, they're really going for it. I'll pay. Mystic Sanctuary makes Murktide bigger. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Still not quite dead. Alright. Please don't flip, Delvers. Definitely don't flip Revealing Lightning Bolt. Who they didn't flip. Murktide Regent is a card that wouldn't flip Delver. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going +4 on their Murktide still doesn't kill me. Unholy Heat picked back up for next turn. But this attack's really exciting because now Sheoldred's Edict actually does kill. Ooh, maybe not. Okay, I was about to say Sheoldred's Edict does kill Murktide Regent because they need both blockers, but that's not true anymore. A Ponder. It's a tour of Fatal Push. All right, Fatal Push, I think, does enough. How much can I actually do this turn? If I place a Toru and then Ninja and Infiltrator, I have 2 mana left. That's not enough. Okay. I guess I just take this Fatal Push and kill their board. Attack with everything. Because I have to attack, block with 2 of the Delvers, then I'll push Edict, and then they have nothing. And they're drawing Unholy Heat. Sick. Second main, Fatal Push, Delver, Sheoldred's Edict, Murktide, and that's the ball game. Boom. That Unholy Heat on top of the deck will not win the game. And a solid, this is 3-1, 3-2 result. Oh yeah, I lost round 1. I forgot that happened. I was about to say 4-1, and then the wrong things came up. All right, a positive record. This deck definitely felt sweet. I really enjoyed the ability to keep hands that don't curve 1-drop into ninjutsu, which the old ninja deck was pretty heavy on. I mean, there were some other draws where you could like double Ornithopter Retrofitter Foundry and make a game plan out of that, where you didn't necessarily need a ninja, but this deck's ability to play pretty normal mid-range Dimir tempo whatever, which is its own deck in the format, the whole Tameo Bowmaster of it all is really nice. Satoru the Infiltrator, every time. So this was actually modal. Well, our brains remember exciting things more than unexciting things. The times where I play this and then immediately draw 5 turns in or 5 cards in a turn cycle, holy smokes. But there are also times where I drew this and it was like a 2-3 menace with no other words on it. It's probably worth the squeeze. I don't know if you need 3 of them. Maybe you play a third Tameo or another removal spell, or something instead of the third one, but having some number of this in here so you could pop is really exciting. You could play one Baleful Strix, I guess, if you just want a creature that does a little more on its own. It's evasive for all your ninjas. Like, that's a card you could play. Deck felt really good. Constantine, thank you for asking me to play it. I love coming back to ninjas and trying new cards. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, but check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.